good morning, oh good morning, what a lovely day. Mummy and Daddy, I love you, come to me when I call you. Mummy and Daddy, I love you, give me a kiss when I ask you. Give me a kiss when I ask you. Hey, good morning kids. Welcome to Melu Classroom. Today, before we start our session, let's recall the letters which we have learned till now. Okay, we have learned A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Yes, children. So, we have learned from A to H. So, now today we are going to learn a new letter. Guess what is the letter we are going to learn today? Okay, what is the letter today? 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 Oh, so before we look into the letter which we are going to learn today, let's get into our story time. So, Incy was a cute little girl and she lives in an igloo. So, where does she live, children? She lives in an igloo. And children, what is this igloo? Igloo is a house made of ice. We all love to play with ice, right? So, Incy lives in her house made of ice and that is called igloo. One day, Incy was playing in front of her house, that is igloo. So, while she was playing, she saw some insects. What did she see, children? Insects. So, Incy and insects became friends. Yes. So, they started playing together and one day, Incy invited insects to her house. Yes, children. So, insects felt very happy and they went to Incy's house. And insects came to Incy's house and they were surprised because insects loved the house of Incy. And Incy, after they went into the, the insects went into the house and sat for a while. Then Incy offered ice cream to the insect. So what did she offer, children? Incy offered ice cream to the insects. So Incy and the insects enjoyed eating the ice creams. We also love to eat ice creams, right? Oh, I want to eat ice cream. But children, remember, we should not eat ice creams daily. We can eat them once in a while. Okay. So, insects and Incy enjoyed eating the ice cream. You know what, children? Insects bought a gift to Incy and Incy was very happy and she opened the gift and to her surprise, what was there in the gift? There was an ink pot. Yes, children, what is this? It's an ink pot. And what is ink pot, children? We have ink in the ink pot. So, Incy loved the gift and she started painting a picture with the ink. And insects were also happy because Incy liked the gift which they bought and Incy and the insects enjoyed the day by painting and eating ice cream. Yes, so this is the story of Incy and the insects. Children, I hope you all loved the story, right? So, what did we see in the story, children? We have seen Incy, insects, ink pot, igloo. Yes, children. What is common in all these words, children? These words start with the sound I. Yes, igloo, insects, INSEE, ink pot. So, I is the beginning sound in all these words, and you know what? And so children, I is the sound of letter I. So, the letter of the day is letter I, and this comes after letter H. So, we are learning today a new letter, that is letter I. And what is the sound of the letter, children? I is the sound of I. To help you remember the sound, I'll teach you a song. Yes, so let's learn a phonic song on the sound of letter I. Insects on the igloo, I. Insects on the igloo, I. I is the sound of I. We'll sing it again. Insects on the igloo, I. Insects on the igloo, I. I is the sound of I. So, we have learned a new letter, that is letter I, and I is the sound of letter I. So, now let's learn to trace letter I in the air. Children, to write letter I, first we need to draw a standing line. Go back to the top and draw a line across on the top, that is a sleeping line, and one more sleeping line at the bottom. We'll do it again. A standing line, a sleeping line on the top, one more sleeping line on the bottom, and this is our letter I. Let's trace it on the panel. Children, this is the capital I and this is the lowercase I, mama I and the baby I. So now let's trace it on the board. A standing line, a small sleeping line and one more sleeping line makes letter I. We can sing like this also, children, while tracing letter I. Down, stop, back to the top. A line across the top, a line across the bottom, and this makes a letter I. So, we can practice tracing by singing down, stop, back to the top. A line across the top, a line across the bottom. This makes letter I. And children, now let's look into our book and learn some more words that start with letter I. So children, we have learned, so here we have few pictures and we will learn what are those words that start with letter I. Yes, I for ice cream. We have also seen it in our story, right? So I for ice cream, I for eyes. Yes, so we have also seen eyes in our story. Yes, igloo is made of ice. So I for eyes. And I for ink pot. Yes, children, we have seen ink pot also in our story. And I for insect. I for insects. And we have seen insects also in our story, right? So, we have seen so many words that start with letter I. And what is the sound of the letter I, children? I is the sound of the letter. So now let's do an activity in the book. Children, we have an activity given in our Melu books, right? So here I can see the picture of an ice cream. So ice cream is looking very dull, right? So now we need to color the ice cream and make it a delicious and repeat. So we need to color this ice cream and make it like a favorite one. So I like a strawberry flavor, right? So now repeat. So I love strawberry flavor. So I will color this in pink and brown. Yes. So you also color your ice cream with your favorite colors and make your ice cream look more bright and colorful. Right, children? So do this activity in your book. Now we will do hands-on activity. So children, now we will learn about the formation of letter I. Okay. So in this activity we will learn to make letter I using popsicles. Okay. So first I need to place a standing line, a small sleeping line on the top and one more small sleeping line on at the bottom. Yes, this is my letter I. Now let's trace letter I using two fingers. Yes, children, down, stop, back to the top, a line across the top and line across the bottom. This is my letter I. So you also practice making letter I using these popsicles at your home. Yes, children. So now let's trace letter I on sand tray. Now let's do sand tracing activity. Okay, we will trace letter I on the sand. Okay, so my sand, I have spread some sand on the table. Yes, so my sand is blue in color because I mixed blue color in it. So you can also spread some sand or salt or flour, yes, on the table and practice tracing letter I on it. Okay, so to make letter I, first I need to make a standing line, go back to the top and a small sleeping line on the top and one more sleeping line at the bottom. This is my letter I. We'll do it again. Down, stop, back to the top, a line across the top, a line across the bottom, and this is my letter I. So children, we have learned so many things today, right? So before we end our session, let's give a quick recap of what all we have learned. Yes, so we have learned a new letter, that is letter I, and we have learned this phonic sound. I is the sound of letter I, and we have seen a story of Incy and the insects, and we have also learned so many words that start with letter I, and we have learned to trace letter I and also practice tracing letter I on the panel. Yes, and we have done an activity which is given in the book and also practice tracing letter I and also done a hands-on activity. So children, you also practice all these activities at your home and let's see you in the next session. Bye.